not sure about this plan.
Because it's not really a plan, it's a ruse.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like.
You and I are two highly ranked members of Starfleet doing a routine surprise inspection.
We could be court-martialed for this. You could lose everything you've worked for.
Only if we get caught. You gotta sell this. Come on, Admiral, show me your inspection face. Give me one of those rigid, disapproving, sour expressions you're famous for. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Patrick Stewart joins us now. He just said, show me your inspection face.
Yeah.
Did you bring your inspection face today, Patrick Stewart?
I brought everything that could possibly, legally and without offense, be examined.
No examination here today, we're happy to say. But I love looking at you back then in 1987 and now. When you first took on this role in 1987, did you have any expectations? You couldn't possibly have thought it would go this long. What were your expectations back then?
Well, they weren't high because I'd never heard of Star Trek.
Really?
I had a very, very quiet upbringing. I called my children because I knew they watched something called Star Something on Saturday afternoons.
Yes.
And I'd once or twice caught these guys in colored T-shirts. So I called them and said, tell me, because I got a meeting today and I don't know what the meeting is about. And I talked to a handful of people whom I knew, and they all said, look, you can't revive an iconic show like Star Trek. You'll probably not make it through the first season.
Right.
So, make a little bit of money for the first time in your life. Maybe you meet some nice girls. You can get a suntan and go home.
Yes. I know.
Didn't quite happen
7 years later.
I know. And so how we sit here 35 years later still talking about it. What does this character mean to you?
I've been very blessed in my career with the roles that I played. But nothing has the importance like Jean-Luc Picard. And if you told me that I would be saying that when I first got the role, I would have laughed in your face. But as time went by and I saw the impact that Star Trek could have on people and their lives, the diversity of the show, its belief in honesty, fair play, equality, all those elements, which kind of get a little sketchy
in real
these
life.
days.
In real life.
In
yes.
real life, yeah.
Well, there's all the ways that Star Trek has affected other people, but I'm interested in how it's affected you. Where does the character end and you begin?
Well, I mean, those are Picard and Patrick Stewart. And by season 2, they had done that. And I really didn't know where one began and the other one left off. I didn't have arthritic fingers in those days, of course. Yeah, it was much more comfortable.
Yeah.
It changed my life. There was nothing in my life that was not affected.
And now it comes to an end. This is it. Season 3, the final season, the final adventure. How do you feel about it?
You're smiling.
You're smiling.
You're smiling.
You're expectant of something, aren't you? No, we have shot the final episode. There are no plans for a future. But this is the thing about Star Trek, the nature of it. You can't say it's over.
Right.
I mean, look at, there are 5 or 6 different emanations of Star Trek on the air now. The impact of the show has been extraordinary. I was talking with some people at a engineering and scientific research place. And they said, do you have any idea about the young people who are coming to us now from universities who have gone to college specifically to study engineering or science or some kind of, experimental work? And so many of them mention Star Trek as being behind their decision. Now, that's remarkable.
It is remarkable.
And particularly women. Young women are being drawn into engineering. And they say it's because of what they experience.
Well, bravo.
Can we ask you about the memoir you've been working on? Right? Last time we spoke, you were in the writing phase. Is the writing phase done? Do we have a publication date?
The writing is done. I'm now working with a brilliant man who is my personal editor, David Camp, and we are finessing all the way through. It's quite a big book.
Yeah.
Because it's my life.
Yes, it is your life.
And there are 100 or more pages about Star Trek and X-Men, but it's not just about Star Trek and X-Men.
You've had quite a life, too.
No doubt. Patrick, I do find it fascinating that you had low expectations when you first attached to this brand that we like to call Star Trek. Was there a particular moment where you knew this was so much bigger than what you realized?
Yes, there was. Almost at once when we began shooting the first season of Star Trek, we were being invited to conventions and science fiction conventions particularly. And when I got there, I was taken into a back door, and we were waiting to begin, and I was ready, and I said, is there anybody out there? And they said, well, yes. And I said, oh, well, that's good, just checking, that's all. They announced me, and I walked on.
Wow.
And 2,000 people rose and began cheering and applauding. And I was utterly unexpected for that. It was incredible.
I love when you said you walked out to a round of applause, because that is certainly how we feel about you.
Of course.
Applause, continued success. Hey, what's left for you? Because, you know, you were 80-something, but you've still got a lot to do.
Just getting started.
Yeah. Well, there is a movie, and that's possible in the future. But principally, I think the moment has come when I'm going to return to the live theatre, to the stage.
All right.
In fact, there are a couple of Shakespeare roles I've never played. And people are talking about that now, so that's probably the next step.
You may be able to get one without an audition. I think they might go out on a limb.
Tony, maybe. Finally.
Patrick Stewart, thank you so much. Congrats for everything. The first episode of Star Trek Picard Season 3, the final, is streaming now on Paramount+, which, as you know, CBS is a part of Paramount Global.